What is up, heroes? This is Midnight Zero. Welcome back to UCL Week 11. We are going up against the Northants Ninetales, coached by Sam, who is currently tied with me for first. He technically has first based on the tiebreaker. He's got one more kill than I do. So this is a pretty big week. I will say that this is probably the most concerning week I've had so far. Looking at his team, you can see he's got so many threats. He's definitely got a lot more bulky offense, but in addition to just like some dedicated walls, both on the special and physical side, he's got some great threats, you know, great scarf users like Sock and Jinx. And to be frank, I feel like my Pokemon are underprepared for this sort of team. So I also was a bit rushed for team building, so I don't think it's as fine-tuned as it could be. That being said, I also expect to run into Sam in the playoffs, so I do have a couple things I didn't want to bring specifically for this match, knowing that I might run into him in the future. And that being said, this is probably like the second or third best team I can come up with. But regardless, we're going to hop into the first Pokemon. We got Heatran. It's running Lava Plume, Flash Cannon, stab moves, burn chances, special defense, drop chances. Pretty much should have punished switch-ins. But more so than anything, Stealth Rock. I want to get up Stealth Rock, and this team is very passive. I'm going to be relying a lot on hazard damage, poison damage, all of that, and then late game sweeps maybe with Hitmonlee or Jirachi. That's kind of the plan. So I want to get up Stealth Rock, and then later game with Magma Storm, if he's already poisoned, like that's building up a lot of damage. I don't want to rely on Magma Storm, of course, because of the accuracy. That being said, I did fine-tune the EVs. It's, notice, a modest nature, and that's so that I am a guaranteed Lava Plume one-hit KO against an Assault Vest Escavalier, which he loves to bring. So, yep, there's Heatran. Moving on to specially defensive Zapdos. It's pretty straightforward, built to tank as many hits as possible. It's built to counter Empoleon or Blastoise, and he usually brings at least one of those to every match. It's also great for Tornadus T. Tornadus T is such a monster. With knockoff, it gets rid of a lot of my items, obviously. And my items are really crucial. Leftovers for recovery on like Heatran and Suicune. As far as the move pool goes, let's see, we got Thunderbolt to hit Tornadus T, of course, and Empoleon and Blastoise for some good damage. Also Toxic for anything else. To be frank, Thunderbolt doesn't do much at all to any of his other Pokemon, and I want to build up poison damage over time, so Toxic is going to be incredibly helpful. I do have Defog. I also have Rapid Spin on Hitmonlee, and that's just because early on in the game, I don't want to have to use Hitmonlee for a Rapid Spin if in case he reads that and then pretty much KOs Hitmonlee, which is one of my only offensive presences. So I wanted to have a backup plan for hazard removal. And then Roost for longevity, of course. Moving on to Hitmonlee, we got Choice Scarf, Hitmonlee, Close Combat, Knockoff, Stone Edge, and Rapid Spin. Rapid Spin is there so that I don't have to get rid of the hazards that I set up if I want to remove hazards. Close Combat hits everything hard. I think it 2-hit KOs Escavalier in particular. It 2-hit KOs almost everything on his team, which is great. Knockoff early game for getting rid of some of his items, which I think he'll rely on for a lot of his bulk or offensive presence. Stone Edge is there for Tornadus T. It almost OHKOs. It definitely OHKOs after rocks. And I'm just fast enough, or no, I outspeed everything on his team. Unless it's Choice Scarf Jinx, which could be kind of problematic, and I think he might bring, to be honest. I know that he said in his team building videos that if I have, across all of my team, I have 4 or more Pokemon that are weak to a certain type, he like brings that or puts an emphasis on that. So in this battle, that would be Ground and Ice. So I'm very, very prepped for a lot of his coverage moves to be HP Ground, or Drill Run, or HP Ice, or Ice Beam, or the like. Moving on to your waifu, the Garbodor. We're running physically defensive. This thing actually takes a modest Mega Gardevoir's Psyshock and KOs back with Gunk Shot, assuming it hits, which would really suck if it misses, but this thing's main job is to deal out damage to things that are U-turning or knocking off, like Tornadus or Sock. Also, get up Spikes and Toxic Spikes. I really want to build up hazard damage this match, and Garbodor is pretty much to chip away at things so that late game Jirachi or Hitmonlee can clean up. Next Pokemon is Suicune. I know he's got Rotom H, which he loves to bring, and that would do really well against Suicune, and I'm sure he's planning on this. He might even bring like Specs Electrode or something like that. Regardless, this Pokemon does so well against so much of his team. After I get one Calm Mind up, I do really well. I take on Mega Gardevoir, I take on Empoleon, Goodra, Hippowdon, Tornadus, Blastoise, Cofagrigus, Escavalier, Sock even, Jinx, except Jinx is kind of a tricky one in that Jinx has dry skin, so it's actually immune to my water type attacks, so I'd rather go into something like Hitmonlee for that or Jirachi. And and that's part of why Jirachi's here too. So yeah, this will be really helpful. It'll tank some physical hits, and after a Calm Mind, it could even sweep him. So definitely going to keep an eye out for getting rid of counters to Suicune. And lastly, certainly not least, we got Jirachi. I found I was pretty much weak. I was really weak to Mega Gardevoir with the rest of the team. I know Heatran does some work, but based on his coverage move, he might be running HP Ground or Focus Blast, depending on what he wants to do. I know Zapdos can help out with Mega Gardevoir as well too, but I don't want to have to sacrifice a Pokemon to get rid of it. And so Iron Head 100% of the time, one-hit KOs Mega Gardevoir. I know he also likes to run a little bit of defense, so there's some leeway there as well. Heart Stamp hits some Pokemon, particularly Blastoise and Empoleon, a little bit harder than Iron Head would, so that's pretty much why that's there. U-Turn for Switch Priority and Healing Wish to potentially heal up a Suicune or a Heatran or a Zapdos that needs a lot more health, because they will be whittled down. One of my biggest concerns with this team is that there is so much pressure on Zapdos and Heatran and Suicune to tank hits, and quite frankly, I'm not sure if they can actually handle it. My confidence is pretty low for this battle. I really want to win. I do think it'll be tough, especially without a strategy that I'm planning on incorporating later, but I'm obviously going to try, and it should be a fun battle. Sam is a very good battler. I've watched a bit of his playstyle, so I have a bit to talk about, or I'll mention that. He's very aware of thinking 2 steps ahead, but he typically likes to play safe, so I might need to make some aggressive plays to actually get stuff going. I do need to be careful with Jirachi as well. If he brings Kofagrigus, I don't want to lose Serene Grace very early on. But yeah, we'll see what happens. Man, this battle, it should be good, so be sure to watch. Anyways, until the battle, this has been Midnight Zero, and this mission is complete.